Hey there, recteq family, Chef Greg here with you. We're going to show you how to cook a delicious backyard brisket. So we're going to inject this brisket today, and there's many commercial injections available on the internet these days. If you don't want to purchase one of those, hey, that's cool. You can mix up a little bit of beef consomme with a little bit of soy sauce, some Worcestershire. You can always use Ray's favorite cheat of an au jus gravy packet. You're really just trying to incorporate some moisture and flavor inside of this brisket. This is a really big piece of meat, and it's always a good idea to be able to season that meat from the inside out. You want to make sure your injection is really well mixed. You can shake it up, make life easy. When we start to inject this brisket, what we want to be really careful of is that we are injecting it with the grain of the meat. That'll help evenly disperse that injection throughout that muscle. You'll see it start to balloon up a little bit. You want to inject every inch or so, nice and even. Add a little extra injection over that flat, and that'll work as your binder. If you see any dry spots, just give a little squirt. Now we're going to season this brisket. One thing I like to do is layer my flavors. I really like to start with something sweet on the bottom. The Rosarewski's honey rib rub does a great job of that. Our next layer of flavor, we want some salt and fresh herbs. Heifer dust goes a long way to really make this brisket delicious. To round out our flavor profile, we want a little bit of heat on the top. And that ancho powder in the Kickin' Joe espresso rub is fantastic. So before we flip this brisket, I really want to let it sit for about 4 to 5 minutes. That injection is going to help that herbs, spices, all of those flavors bind to that brisket. And if needed, you can always give it a little tap, but you don't want to rub your brisket. Just give it time for all of those flavors to soak into that meat. So we've got this brisket perfectly injected, seasoned to perfection. Now we'll let this sit in the fridge for about 2 to 4 hours, and that way all of those flavors can kind of meld. If you didn't use all of the injection, awesome. Now you've got something to save when you wrap that brisket. Honestly, the only question left, are we gonna use butcher paper or foil? The front folding shelf makes a perfect spot to land this brisket. Today we're gonna be cooking fat side down. We're also going to orientate the point towards the smokestack. The RT700 bowl features 702 square inches of internal grill space, plenty of room for 2 to 3 briskets. We'll be cooking at 225 degrees. We'll be monitoring that cook with our Y-Pellet Wi-Fi controller app, and we're looking for a target internal temperature about 160 to 165 degrees. For a 14-pound brisket, we're probably looking close to 9 hours. Today we're going to wrap in paper. It'll help protect that bark, it'll help speed up that cook, and really ensure a nice moist brisket. This brisket smells amazing. We really want to be patient, let this rest. So what we'll do is we'll put it in a warm spot of the kitchen. You can cover it with towels if you want. Let it rest for a good 30 to 60 minutes before we slice it up. Look how nice and moist and delicious that brisket looks. That smoke ring is super even and consistent. Today we were cooking with the ultimate blend pellets, red oak, white oak, and hickory. Hits the mark every time. If you're looking for those Kansas City style burn ends, it's coming from right here. You'll slice that point about 1 inch thick, cube it up, add a little extra of your favorite rub, glaze, about 15 minutes on the smoker. You can see how squishy these are already. Just super delicious and tender. I'm not squeezing, but that juice is just oozing out of that brisket. You want to be careful when you're slicing your brisket. It's going to start to dry out pretty fast. Not a bad idea to have your favorite glaze or sauce nearby. Kind of go ahead and paint those slices with a little bit of glaze or sauce. Help keep it nice and moist. The brisket's done. It smells amazing. It's all sliced up. We're ready to eat. Appreciate you guys cooking with us today, making this delicious backyard brisket. See you at the recteq.